there. If you're just joining us for this vlog, I am Irina.
And I'm Devon.
And we are Just Be Out. Just to bring you up to speed on our travels, we left Honolulu, Hawaii in mid-February 2020. We flew to Sydney, Australia, where we stood for 2 weeks. And at the end of February, we boarded a 21-day French Polynesia cruise.
As we mentioned before in our previous vlog on our 21-day cruise, changes were made from the time we boarded the cruise.
Yes, as we were staying in line to check in, there were already 5 ports of calls being removed from our itinerary, and they are all beautiful islands. Don't judge my pronunciation. I've never been, I never heard about them before. So it's Mare, Isle of Pines, and Lifo of New Caledonia, and Apia and Pago Pago. Norwegian Cruise Line added Noumea, New Caledonia 2 nights, and Brisbane 2 nights instead of 1 night.
So these are the substitutions that was made for the original itinerary.
And we did get offered 25% reimbursement for the cruise and 25% additional credit for next cruises. We have cruised with NLC before, and as from our first day, we noticed some changes that were implemented due to coronavirus.
Right. So, for example, when you go to the buffet to have lunch or what have you, even dinner, normally before you were able to serve yourself. Now it's no longer that. They have someone serving you. So any type of the food you want from the buffet, you have to ask for it, and then they place it on the plate for you. They're cleaning around the clock. They wash the walls down in the hallways of the stateroom.
Sanitizing
They
everything.
sanitize everything. Elevator buttons get swiped down all the time. The phones that you use to call the staterooms from all the different locations on the cruise, those are being wiped down as well. So they're definitely taking measures to kind of keep things clean. So just 2 days into our sailing, we had more unexpected changes.
Yes, they actually removed Mystery Island from our itinerary and added a second day in Latoka, Fiji. On day 7, we arrived to Noumea, New Caledonia. And right the day before, we heard announcements through the speakers.
From the captain.
The government of New Caledonia is banning citizens and people who have transferred through the following countries: Germany, Spain, Singapore, Egypt, Italy, Japan, China, Hong Kong, and Macau. So those people were pissed. They were not able to get off the ship. So for 2 days, they had to stay on the ship.
1 week into the cruise, more sanitary measures began to be implemented.
And they were getting stricter.
Yes. So now when you go into, for example, if you're having lunch and you're going into the buffet restaurants, before you pick up your plate and your utensils and then go to your server so they can put whatever you want on the plate. Now you can't even touch the plates. There are no plates stacked up for you to take or utensils. They put out a table and they have plates stacked up, and someone is there to actually hand you your plate and hand you your utensils, and then you go and you choose the food you want. They also roped off the area for beverages, coffee, juices, milk, water, ice. So you have to ask someone behind the rope for a glass of water or a glass of juice or what have you. They pour it for you and then they give it to you, and then you go to your table. Even like if you wanted ketchup, they have someone that's going to pour the ketchup for you. You cannot touch anything.
Which is a good thing.
Right.
I'm not complaining about that.
For sure.
Also, another change we noticed, even in the main dining area, you normally go there and everything is set up for you. There are plates and utensils, water glasses and wine glasses are there on the table.
Right.
And they bring you a booklet with the menu.
Right.
Now you come to an empty table and they give you a one-use only menu, which is printed on just paper.
Paper, right.
And after you order, they throw that paper out.
Right, so it's no longer the book, so you don't have to touch the book and then they have to wipe it down. That's one less thing they have to wipe down.
Exactly. On day 13, we left Suva, Fiji, and we were supposed to sail directly to Bora Bora for 3 or 4 days. And there was a 50-50 chance whether or not they're gonna let us into French Polynesia. But the captain and NCL cruise took the chance, so we sailed for a day and a half.
Crossed the international date line.
Yes, so March 12th was actually, we experienced it twice.
Right.
And then on day 14, we heard an announcement saying that we're not going to Bora Bora anymore. The French Polynesian government closed the borders for ships, and the ship got turned around 360 degrees, and we were headed back to Fiji to refuel and get more food.
Right. At the time that announcement was made, people were already kind of like, they were losing it at this point, because that's the main purpose most people came on this trip. And it happened in the evening time, so I guess the corporate offices were closed,
on the mainland,
so they didn't really have a solid solution. So we had to wait till the following day to get an update until they can contact corporate and find out what is it that they can possibly do.
Nobody knew where we were supposed to go, how we're going to fly back home, or whatever places people are going next, whether we should cancel our flights or not, if there are going to be any reimbursements or not.
Everything was up in the air.
People had no idea. I had a horrible night's sleep.
Yeah, and they had a room with, like, they opened up with 3 phones, so people are able to call and, I guess, call friends, loved ones, or whoever, or try to make other arrangements or cancel flights or whatever it is that they had to do to get home. And it was a disaster. The next day, the captain made an announcement, and apparently they got in contact with corporate, and the plans changed again. So instead of going to Fiji, like the initial announcement stated, we are now headed to
Taronga, New Zealand.
Taronga, New Zealand, exactly.
And the cruise is going to finish 3 days,
earlier than planned. Yes. So you can imagine how people are losing it, because it's only getting worse. And we understand that, you know, with the virus going on, how it's affecting everyone's closing their borders. So right now is probably not the best time to be on a cruise. But, you know, at this point,
flights are being canceled because countries are closing borders.
Right. So everyone is scrambling, trying to make reservations to get home. They don't know how they're going to get home. Some people weren't going home. They were going to other places. And it makes it so you know, it makes it really complicated for them.
This cruise was supposed to go from Tahiti to Hawaii. And we heard a lot of passengers booked the cruise going to Hawaii, and they were looking forward to going to Hawaii as well.
Yeah. So today they set up a bigger room now with phones and also computers, and they were giving free internet so people could go on one by one and
make arrangements
and do what they had to do.
Flights. So now we have to get visas for New Zealand, and the cruise will reimburse us for the visas as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking from the bridge. I have very difficult information to deliver. However, we have a sad and recent development. We have just been informed that effective midnight tonight, New Zealand will not be accepting any cruise vessels.
Oh my God.
We will not be permitted to enter New Zealand. Please do not book any New Zealand travel plans, and NZ visa do not need to be applied for. We can kindly ask you to have patience and understanding with our guest service team. We are doing our best to provide you information in timely manner. However, this is a very fluid situation. This development saddens all of us, and we will work diligently with our corporate office on new arrangement. We will keep you updated by way of announcement, and thank you for your continuous support and patience. Thank you for your attention.